morning, good morning, good morning. I feel so good today, even with the clouds out, even with the cold weather. I want to welcome you to another edition and episode on my platform, Ink Division. It's a pleasure to share and to be here with you today. More insightful practices, systems, and ways to be more accountable. And so today we're going to start just with gratitude and just being ultimately grateful that we are alive another day. We have another opportunity for self-expression. We have another opportunity to do the things that we intend to do. We have another day above ground. So many family members, friends, and loved ones are not here in these moments. Some of the same things that we have faced and we've encountered have taken the lives of other people, whether that's dealing with illness or tragic moments, or whatever that it looks like for you. But today we're going to start off just being thankful and grateful for these moments. And we have the opportunity to express our gifts with genuine expression, right? And authenticity. We have an opportunity to help someone today. So I want to help someone today. And first we're going to start off with repetition and why I often discuss some of the same topics or the same principles over and over, right? It's needed. Repetition builds muscle. Repetition builds habits. Repetition influences your subconscious mind. So what that means is some of the things that we need to do, they need to be repeated to be instilled within us so that it's not an effort behind it, but it's just a normal practice that we automatically do, just like brushing our teeth or washing our face, bathing, or any other ritual or practice that you typically do every day. So repeat, do over, write them down, and instill within yourself the fortitude, okay, the character traits, the recognition, because you'll also recognize that, hey, things that I was at one time having trouble with doing, I can do those things with ease now. And another thing about it is do things from a place of joy, excitement, and enthusiasm. Do things from a place that truly resonates with you on a high frequency. So when we feel good about things, when we are excited about our life and about where we're going and about our expectations, we raise our consciousness level, we raise our awareness to the very things, opportunities, the places, the people, and everything that's needed. And we can magnify that with repetition. So I encourage you to repeat the very things daily as practices, and I often call these systems because when you establish a habit, that habit can turn into a system because it can generate, like I said, a continuity that can place you on autopilot. And just like as an athlete or anyone that works out or anyone that is doing something from a place, all right, to build muscle, to build strength, to build coordination, it's practice, practice, practice. So practice doesn't make perfect, but practice does help instill habits. Practice does help stimulate growth. And like I said, accountability. And one of my, favorite things to do, I often say this, like repetition as well, right? I often say that writing has been one of my key systems Writing allows me to clarify my thoughts. Writing allows me to clarify my ideas. Writing allows me to bring clarity to so many elements in my life that I can recognize patterns, that I can implement any type of adjustments that are necessary. Because that's the thing, when you reflect on your life and the things that you're doing, you can notice what is working and what's not working. So do away with the things that are not working, like bad habits, being in negative environments, ill-advised practices, negativity, and we certainly don't want to be involved in things that are fraudulent or anything of that nature, right? So build these things through repetition, through habits, the choices, the decisions that you make, and utilize systems in your life. So I encourage you to use a notebook every day. Don't just use it for a short time. Don't just use it initially when you learn something about writing here on this channel or whatever platform or way that you learn. And like I said, you know, some of us are visual learners. Some of us are practical learners. So do a combination of both. Try to learn from what you see, but also instill it and formulate a practice. Formulate a way that you are taking action and putting motion into things that are highly important to you. Okay, so I wrote down so many of these things, and I want you to be accountable for your life. Be accountable for your legacy. So many people don't talk about legacy or think about legacy. So I also want to focus on that today. What will you be remembered for when you leave this earth? What will be your imprint? What will people say about you? What will people readily acknowledge about the person and the life that you lived while you were on this planet? How do you want to be remembered? I want to leave a legacy for my family, for my son and my granddaughter, for the people that I love, and also for the people that I've influenced, the people that I have touched in ways or taught something to, or even the people that I learned from, if they're still here, you know, when I leave this earth. Because in life, through creating our legacies, we are both the student and the teacher. Never get to a place where you feel like you're too old to learn something, or too old to try something, or too old to begin a new path, because learning will become really difficult when you have a closed mindset. And how can you learn something without making it more difficult for yourself if you have a mindset that you pretty much know all you need to know, or there's nothing else that you can learn? We can learn from people that are younger than us as well. It doesn't have to be mentorship from someone that is older than you. Sometimes we can learn lessons from the youth, right? So just keep that in mind about your legacy, about learning, about implementing strategies in your life so that you align with your purpose, you align with your destiny. And so for some people, they don't even know what that is. If that's you, it's okay, because we've all been there at a point in our lives where we're trying to figure things out, right? We want to know, why am I here? What are the things that my Creator placed me on this planet to do? Okay? What is it that brings ultimate joy, ultimate satisfaction, and allows me to have genuine expression that I would actually do it for free? Like me sharing these strategies, these systems, these ways of thinking, these practices with you on this platform are exciting to me. It means something to me. It's not just me posting a YouTube video for clicks and for views. This is genuinely from a place where my intention is to help someone, all right, to provide them with essential tools so that they can unlock their full potential, so that they can, or so that you can, whoever you are, so that you can do the things that you intend to do in life, or do the things that maybe you put off, do the things that ultimately bring joy, satisfaction, and fulfillment. It's empowering to know that if you wake up every day excited to do something, excited to help somebody, and that feels amazing for me, because I haven't always been in this situation. There was times in my life where I dedicated so much time to, we call it chasing a dollar. And what that looks like is you're just going to work to earn. You're just going to work to make money. You're just going to work to take care of your family, to pay bills. But you're so unfulfilled. You are so unhappy. You are so just unresolved internally, where you can feel it in your body. Your emotional systems are letting you know you're at a lower vibration. You're feeling sad. You're feeling unfulfilled in so many ways. And I want to share a brief story about how when we connect with people on a deeper level, you may not know what the outcome is going to be when you're sharing something with somebody, or you are actually living your purpose and your gift. And I say that because one day I was heading to a client, and I was in a lift. And the gentleman that was driving, we were having a good conversation, but I often do what I'm doing right now with you guys is I just share principles for life, universal principles and systems that I've lived by, just by sharing my own life experiences, or just talking about universal truths. And so as I talked and spoke with the man, I was just saying how oftentimes things occur in our life where we are being redirected and realigned, but it may look like an unfortunate situation. You may be removed from a job, you may get fired, you may get laid off, but the environment that you were in was unfulfilling. It may be toxic, there may be negative people there. You may have done nothing wrong, you may have excelled in that place, but the energy surrounding that place, the energy surrounding you doing something unfulfilled, is not where you're supposed to be. And you may endure these things for far too long. We've all been at moments in our life where people say this phrase, you just do what you got to do. Well, I'm here to tell you that you have to learn how to remove yourself from situations where you are just doing what you got to do, and you are living in alignment with purpose, with value, with integrity, with, just divine order and happiness and fulfillment. And some of us have, and so let me get back to the story. I'm kind of running off tangent, but as I spoke with the man and I was sharing, these principles and saying how, you may be in a toxic environment, man. The gentleman he began to cry. Tears just streamed from his face. And as he began to cry, something, within me told me not to stop speaking to him, but, to continue to share. And as I continue to share more and state more principles about, rejection is for your protection, sometimes things won't work out because the divine is working in your favor, but it may look like you're losing at that time. It may look like, why is this happening to me? It may look like that, like I'm doing everything right, but it's just not working out. I'm excelling as far as the productivity. I'm here, I have the attendance, right? I'm following company protocol and things of that nature, but for some reason, there are things that are happening outside of my control. And this gentleman was I mean, when I tell you he was crying, he cried so intensely that when I finally did stop speaking on the principles, he looked at me, almost turned around, because he was driving, and he said, man, you don't understand. And I said, wait, what do you mean? He said, everything that I've been going through in my life at this time you just described. He said, that's the reason why I'm driving Lyft right now. He said, I was in a toxic environment at my job. I had to leave there. I had to quit my job. And he was still crying as he was explaining this to me. And he was like, it was like in those moments that I shared with him these principles, in those moments when I was just being my authentic self, just being the person that I am. I genuinely speak this way all the time, People often call me for advice and stuff like that. So when he was sharing all of this with me, in those moments, I intuitively knew that if I don't share my gifts, if I don't have a full, authentic expression, whether that's a platform, whether that's continuing to write, whether that is speaking engagements, whether that is performing on stage, whatever that is for my life, if I don't continue to do the things that not only bring me joy and fulfillment, but reciprocates that between me, which is a give and exchange between the people that I'm genuinely trying to help, the people that I share these with on this platform, and just people that I encounter in my life. I genuinely come from a place where I want to help you. I'm authentic in nature, that I have such strong empathy, that, and this is not it's not a bad thing to be empathetic, but sometimes when you're around people that don't have that same sense of feeling for others or caring about others, they may make you feel that you are whether abnormal or strange, but it's not strange, you're just different. And so if that is you as well, if you are empathetic, if you care about people, find ways to align with that and place that within your daily actions and your purpose. And so I've been told, or I've acknowledged, I should say more so than I've been told, because it's more intuitive, like, from within I've been told, that until I use my full expression of teaching, of guiding, and learning from others, because I love learning too. I'm an individual that loves to read, loves to learn new things, loves to share these things that I learn. And so sometimes it can be a little difficult when you are not aligned with people that feel the same way that you do. So we have to find ways to get aligned with individuals who feel like we do, with individuals who can appreciate the practices that we're sharing. But I really want to encourage you today, for the people out there who are feeling deeply inside that you have a passion. Maybe you don't know what it is, but maybe you really know some things that you like to do, but you're searching, you're really trying to figure this thing out. You're really waking up every day, maybe unfulfilled. I want to really encourage you to, no, I'm cool, thank you though. All right, appreciate you, bro. Yep, yeah. So I really want to encourage you to maintain, to be fulfilled. I really want to encourage you to find what defines you. And I mean what defines you, things that resonate with you on such a high level that if you, like I said, there's not a money value on it, with your intentions. It's really you being your authentic self and doing what you love to do. So I'm just so happy in these moments. I'm just so grateful in these moments to share these principles, to share these systems that I use daily. And so Once again, I want to acknowledge how I use writing every day in order to align, in order to feel better, in order to add organization to my life, to be accountable, to follow through, and to do the things that I say that I'm going to do. I want to encourage you that if you are looking for a system or a way of thinking, a way of taking consistent action, to go ahead and check out my free clarity guide. This guide you can download it from a link in my description. This guide you can download within my comments, at the top of my comments as well. And this will just give you some actual steps, some actions that you can take daily in order to be accountable, in order to remove the confusion in your life, in order to bring that clarity in areas where you are still asking questions daily, saying, you know, what is my next move? Or why do I feel this way? What does it mean, you know, when I get tightness in my chest or my stomach, my solar plexus? What does it mean when I feel tensions within my body? Because these are signals. Most people don't pay attention to these things, but if you are an intuitive person, if you are an empathetic person that is aligned with regulating your body, regulating your nervous system, and noticing, you know, what's going on within, you know, your internal expressions, you know, because your body can often send you the signals before the mind can translate what it means. And so what that means is that you can meet people and feel something within yourself that person is not good for you, that person is not authentic, that person is not a good person, that person has negative intentions, that person is ill at will. And you can also feel the opposite, which is a person that resonates completely with you, that you may feel like you've known that person for your whole life and you just met them. A person that exudes so much joy, so much confidence that you want to know why they feel so happy. Why are they, you know, feeling so lucky about life, when it's all about a mindset, it's all about practices, it's all about systems and the way we view life. I want to share another story about one of my clients that was a multi-millionaire, and he owned, I won't say his name, but what I say, he owned the mansion here in Atlanta that Tyler Perry initially bought, you know, during his rise here to becoming a billionaire. But I'm working for this client one day, and I just really wanted to know, you know, where was his center of joy from? And so I didn't ask him, but it's almost like intuitively that he knew that he wanted to share some things with me. And he gave me a book. He gave me his book that was like his autobiography. It was like two books in one. One book on one side, you flip it over, there's another book. So he hit the other book. One side was about his life and his principles, how he thought, how he started as a humble software guy and rose to start his own software business here in Atlanta, became super wealthy. The other side of the book was about the construction of his mansion, how he and his family designed this mansion, and not just the mansion, but the whole property. So there's acres of property where there were gardens on the property. There's all this fantastic lay of landscaping and horticulture and amazing trees, and I mean, it was just beautiful. It's like one of those properties that they use for the sets of movies. This is the type of place that he lived in every day. So he built that, but he shared it within a book, and he wanted to share that with me. Something about me resonated with him, and something about him resonated with me, where I didn't have to ask him. He just genuinely wanted to share, and he autographed the book for me. He gave it to me, and he shared that with me. And so I share that with you just to say that That's part of his legacy. The person he is, the life that he's living, um, his genuine expression, his natural ability to be excited, to be happy. And I need to also preface this, that the gentleman was either in his late 60s or early 70s at the time. And also, our connection led to additional projects where, his ex-wife, which also says a lot about his character, not his current wife, but his ex-wife, he had referred me for services with her as well. So it became a networking thing, whereas on 3 other occasions, he recommended me or requested me to do additional work or additional services for him. And it's just powerful how you can impact people with your life, how people can resonate with you, and how people can sense, like I said, your genuine authenticity. And if you are a person that is scheming, if you are a person that is not resonating from an authentic place, people can feel that. Not everyone. You may be able to fool some people, but many of us, we get warnings about these ill-advised people, their personalities, their tendencies, because it's almost like a spirit that when you've seen it one time, you'll notice it when you see it again. They may have the same tendencies, or just because somebody is smiling doesn't mean that they're happy for you, okay? This is important. Just because somebody contacts you doesn't mean that you need to respond. I had to learn these things. Just because people ask questions don't mean you have to answer. That doesn't mean you're being dishonest. That means that you are protecting yourself. And one of the other things I want to share is we need to remain silent at times and learn how to be alone and go into hermit mode. That doesn't mean that every day you should just be by yourself. But these are systems and practices that I use my entire life. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm not speaking from a guru standpoint or something that I'm trying to sell you. I'm speaking from, I've lived it. I'm telling you a truth that has been so incredible for me that sometimes you need to separate yourself from any environment that is not positive or helping you to produce, or to operate from an authentic framework. So I often spend times in my office alone. I often create alone. I often meditate alone. I often study alone. And that doesn't mean that I don't enjoy people. That doesn't mean that I'm not able to network or connect with people. But I understand that I need these moments. It's like recharging your battery too. This is like, I'm an empath. I'm an empathetic person that I feel energies, I feel vibrations, I feel tensions in places and people when I come around them without them saying a word. And so when you operate from that structure and you can feel these energies surrounding you, they can be draining at times. Sometimes I can feel worn out and I have to ask myself, what does this mean? What does it mean that I'm so tired but I'm fully rested? I've slept an entire night. I've gotten all the rest that I need. But why do I feel so tired? So all of this comes from reflection, and writing in a journal, writing in a notebook has allowed me to go back and view my life, to go back at the end of the day and say, what do I notice from today? What do I notice that happened today that I connected with, that I resonated with? What is it that I noticed from today that I didn't connect with, that made me feel dragging or unempowered and not motivated? So it's important for you to study yourself. Don't just study outward things like what you're being taught from other people, but learn to study yourself. Learn to Take the time to figure out how do you operate from your highest frequency and your most productive, emotions. And so most of us, we operate mostly from positive emotions, from things that we're excited about, things that we're looking forward to. And so there may be different things, right? But once you learn to unlock the things that have deeper meaning for yourself, once you learn how to operate from that type of framework, things become so much easier. You can follow passions instead of following trends. You can acknowledge the true value in life without looking for validation in others. You can speak your truth without worrying about what people are saying about you. You can live fully without worrying about what people are saying, what people think about you, and none of that matters. Les Brown used to say this: it's none of your business what other people think about you. And I truly believe that. It's none of your business, and it doesn't help you to be concerned with the notions in other people's minds about the person that you are. Because so many people in this world operate from a negative framework that I would encourage you to be self-centered and to know what you know from deep inside, based on studying yourself, applying, principles to your life that, like I said, bring joy and excitement. And I could really just go on and on, because sharing this information with you is part of my life's purpose. So to be able to speak, to be able to express my gifts, I want to really encourage somebody out there today to do the same. And so, in closing, if anything that I said today truly resonated with you, please leave a like, please share the video, please leave a comment, and even subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content like this. And if the things that I said resonated with you, try my clarity guide. It's free. It's in my description. It's in my comments. And you can download that and start applying it to your life. It's only about 5 pages, but I know from experience that it can really help you, because it's helped me in my life. And I really want to say thank you, an ultimate thank you from the bottom of my heart, because this platform allows me to do the things that I say that I'm going to do, to reach the people that I say that I'm going to reach, and to live a life of fulfillment and purpose, which is far